Hey you guys, I can't believe that Kingdom Hearts 3 is only weeks away. In celebration of that, I decided to make one big form and transformation video that breaks down all of the information that I've gathered over the last year. I want to say first and foremost that I will not be covering any of the leaks, so you don't have to worry about anything being spoiled. All this information I have put together has come from the trailers and demos that have been officially released by Square Enix. Some of this breakdown of course will be speculative, as we have not had the physical game to test out some of these mechanics. I've done as much extensive testing though as I could with the Kingdom Hearts 3 demo, and have spent the entire year of 2018 breaking down the different forms of transformations we have seen. I'm going to be starting from scratch with this video and explaining forms and transformations from the ground up in case some people have no idea how this new mechanic works. After that, I will take each form and break down the different transformations associated with each form. After showing off all the transformations for a particular form, I will then take a step back and talk about the form as a whole and how I think it works. Here are the forms we'll be talking about: Second Form, Power Form, Magic Form, Speed Form, and Guardian Form. In the description, I will have timestamps to each of the forms so you can easily get to the one you are looking for. One last quick note before we get started: Magic and Speed Form are tentative names and have not been officially confirmed. I coined these terms because of the Power, Magic, and Speed triangle that was introduced in the Union Cross mobile game. This attribute triangle, though not expressly discussed, is also shown through Birth by Sleep, with Terra symbolizing power, Ven symbolizing speed, and Aqua symbolizing magic. Okay, sorry to talk your ear off before you even get into the video. Let's get started. If you watched any of the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers, you may have noticed that Sora has a new ability in this game. Sora has the ability to transform his Keyblades into fantastic weapons such as a drill, a spear, or even yo-yos. These can be triggered with situation commands. These commands were introduced in 0.2 and are a kind of evolution of the command gauge from Birth by Sleep. Both situation commands and the command gauge involve building up a meter through attacking or using magic. The command gauge would automatically trigger a new form when filled, while the situation commands allowed you to hold on to them for a limited time, and even build up multiple commands that you could then cycle through to pick the command you wanted. Situation commands in 0.2 have two options: upgraded magic and forms. If Aqua uses magic, it will give an upgraded version of the magic cast once the meter is filled. For example, Firaga will give a Firaja situation command. If Aqua attacks with her Keyblade though, she will trigger the Spellweaver form. This form has a finish command that you get after building up the situation meter. Alongside forms and upgraded magic, Sora can also trigger transformations by building up these situation commands in Kingdom Hearts 3. Transformations change Sora's Keyblade into a special weapon with a form gauge at the top of the command menu that will start to drain. Once it drains, Sora will return to his base form. If the Keyblade has a second transformation, you can build up the situation meter to trigger the second transformation. If Sora is in the highest level of the Keyblade transformation, every time you fill up the situation meter, it will add a bit of time to your gauge, keeping you in the transformation longer. The finish command is available as soon as you transform if there is a finisher associated with the transformation. For example, Hyper Hammer will not have a finish command that you can trigger, but if you transform into Drill Punch, you will have access to the finish command as soon as you transform. Even if you have a full form gauge, as soon as you use a finisher, Sora will revert back to his base form. Speaking of reverting, if you have a second level transformation available, like Drill Punch, and you let Hyper Hammer's timer run out, the Drill Punch situation command will disappear as soon as you revert. Let's talk about the forms associated with these transformations now. When you transform your Keyblade, Sora's form changes as well. The forms that Sora goes into while in these transformations cannot be triggered outside of them as far as we know. What I mean by this is you cannot just choose Guardian Form from the command menu. Guardian Form activates when Sora goes into Counter Shield or Honey Launcher. Vice versa, you cannot trigger a transformation without going into the form associated with that transformation. So you cannot go into Counter Shield without going into Guardian Form. You also cannot flip forms between transformations as far as we know. For example, you cannot decide you want Sora to go into Power Form when transforming into Counter Shield. Guardian Form is tied to Counter Shield, and Counter Shield is tied to Guardian Form. Forms also do not carry over to cutscenes. In the showcase demo, if you are in a transformation, you will revert to Sora's base form so that he is in his normal clothes and not a form during the cutscene. You can though switch to another Keyblade before the cutscene and save that transformation. After the cutscene, you can switch back to the Keyblade transformation and will have however much time you had left when you switched Keyblades. If you leave a battle, Sora will stay in the form that the transformation was associated with until the gauge runs out. You will also stay in a form if you use a limit or attraction flow as well. Shot locks are another thing affected by these forms and transformations. It seems like we'll be able to choose the first level of the shot lock, as we've seen two Keyblades that have the same shot lock called Snakebite, though the animation seems to change depending on the Keyblade. Each Keyblade though has a second shot lock that is unique to that Keyblade that is triggered when you max out the lock on. This will take Sora into the highest level of that particular Keyblade transformation and change him into the form associated with that transformation during the attack. So, if you use the max shot lock with Smile Gear, Sora will transform his Keyblade into twin yo-yos and go into power form during the attack. Now that we've covered the general information on forms and transformations, let's start the actual breakdown. The first form I want to talk about is Second Form. This form is special in that it is not associated with the transformation and is only triggered by the Kingdom Key. The name Second Form, though, is supposedly only a tentative name. Nomura stated this in an interview a while back and also mentioned that the Kingdom Key would not be transforming. The animation Sora uses when going into Second Form is the same animation he uses when going into a Drive Form in Kingdom Hearts 2. Second Form is similar to how Limit Form worked in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix in that it brings back combos and abilities from previous games. It also changes Sora's clothes to a color variation of his Kingdom Hearts 2 attire. Sora's combo finishers in Second Form are reminiscent of combo finishers from both Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Ground combos include a variation of Explosion from Kingdom Hearts 2, Ripple Drive from Kingdom Hearts 1, and this thrusting attack which seems to be a variation of an attack from Kingdom Hearts 2. The interesting thing about this attack is that it is a combo finisher in Kingdom Hearts 3, while in Kingdom Hearts 2 it is just a simple attack. The aerial combo finishers are Hurricane Blast from Kingdom Hearts 1, Aerial Finish from Kingdom Hearts 2, and Magnet Burst from Kingdom Hearts 2. Second Form also has an interesting mechanic for the finish command. Each time you fill up the situation meter, the finish command changes. Whenever Sora does these finishers, the blue Second Form logo above the command menu changes to yellow. Similarly to the transformations, as soon as you change into Second Form, you have access to a finisher. The first finisher you start out with is always Stun Impact. After filling the situation meter, it will change to Sonic Blade and then Ars Arcanum. Stun Impact is the same as it has always been, an AoE type of attack that stuns enemies hit by it. The radius of the attack seems to have been increased slightly. Sonic Blade is also similar to previous versions of it, with Sora doing multiple thrusts with his Keyblade. We get a prompt after each attack, so we are able to choose when to stop rather than being locked into a long attack and not being able to do anything about it. The nice thing about this attack is that Sora can trigger it in the air. In Kingdom Hearts 2, none of the limits can be performed in the air. Ars Arcanum is slightly different as it mirrors the Dream Drop Distance version of the attack rather than the original version. Just like Sonic Blade, you have the option to keep attacking or stop midway through. Magic does not seem to change well in Second Form, and seems to be the same as in base form. The max shot lock for the Kingdom Key is Ragnarok, and most likely changes Sora into Second Form when performing this attack, though we have not had any confirmation on this. I mentioned at the beginning, though, that other Keyblades change Sora into both the highest level of the transformation and the form associated with it when using the max shot lock, so it is likely this will be the case for the Kingdom Key shot lock. Second Form is seen to be usable with Sora in both his Kingdom Hearts 2 attire as well as his Kingdom Hearts 3 clothes. At the end of 0.2, we see Yensid telling Sora to go to Olympus to regain his strength. It's possible he learns to channel his old power from Hercules or one of the gods. And that is all the information I have gathered about Second Form. Let's move on to Power Form. Power Form changes Sora's clothes red and has a type of camera print added to Sora's pants. When Sora is in toy form, his clothes turn red and his pants become checkered. When in monster form, his jacket turns red, his fur turns yellow, and the rings on his legs turn a pinkish color. When in pirate form, his headband and cufflinks turn red, and the crown on his pirate hat changes to the fleur-de-lis that was on Valor form in Kingdom Hearts 2. There are 3 Keyblade transformations associated with this form so far. These Keyblades are the Infinity Badge from Toy Story, Smile Gear from Monsters Inc., and Rudder of Fate from the Pirates World. I will break down all 3 of these transformations and then talk about Power Form as a whole. Let's start with Infinity Badge, the Toy Story Keyblade. The first level of the transformation is Hyper Hammer. The ground combo starts with a single ground smash in front of Sora, followed up by a circling hammer spin that can hit enemies multiple times. Sora then does a smash in front of him and one behind before sliding forward, scraping the ground with the hammer as he pushes through enemies. The combo finisher has Sora making the hammer grow larger and slamming it down on the ground. The cracks in the ground during these combos damage enemies and throw them in the air. The air combo is the same thing as the ground combo, but instead of ground pounds, Sora performs spinning flips. Both the ground and air combos have huge range and reach. Between the cracks on the ground throwing enemies into the air, and the spinning that deals multiple hits to enemies around him, Sora can easily keep the area around him clear with this transformation. Sora's sliding attack for this form is the attack where Sora drags the hammer against the ground as he closes in on an enemy. There's also a ground pound that brings Sora down to the ground quickly. It is similar to the first attack of the ground combo, except that Sora does a quick flip before the attack, and the cracks are much larger than the ground combo attack. Athletic Flow is changed by this transformation. If you use Shock Dive instead of a Keyblade Smash, Sora uses his hammer. This is pretty much the ground pound that Sora can do when attacking a grounded enemy from the air. No other Athletic Flow is changed with the Hyper Hammer transformation. Magic is changed to an AoE type of magic similar to the fire magic in Kingdom Hearts 2. Hyper Hammer's block has Sora holding the pole in front of him, and his dodge is a quick dash. Let's move on to the second level of this transformation, Drill Punch. The ground combo starts with a drill dash forward, followed by an attack that has Sora dragging his drill across the ground and slashing upwards. There is also an attack that Sora does that is similar to the ground pound that the Hyper Hammer does. Sora smashes his drill into the ground, creating cracks in the floor, and also produces a whirlwind. The last normal attack Sora can do is a rising attack that pushes enemies into the air. This is possibly a transition attack from the ground combo to the air combo. The combo finisher for the ground combo has Sora diving under the ground and digging up under the enemy, pushing them into the air with a giant drill. The air combo finisher has Sora making the drill grow bigger as he rushes the enemy. Only the ground smash is an AoE type of attack other than the ground combo finisher. Something that is odd to me is that in this gameplay, we see Sora spamming the same ground smash attack. I played the demo and I'm pretty sure Sora would not keep smashing the ground like this when there is an enemy that he could drill dash over to. There's also this combo finisher that sends multiple drills up through the ground. I never triggered this combo finisher when I played the demo, and I believe that both of these things shows that there is some kind of combo modification we can trigger in Kingdom Hearts 3. Athletic Flow is not changed by Drill Punch. Magic is shot out as a single homing projectile. Sora uses the front of the drill to block, and during combat, Sora's dodge will have him dig underground. The finisher changes the drill into a claw that grabs onto an enemy and bashes them against the ground and other enemies. The claw is reminiscent of the claw that picks up the aliens. The max shot lock for this Keyblade sends Sora in a drill punch as he teleports around, rushing enemies with the drill. It seems like Sora may be using Corridors of Light during this attack. The next Keyblade we will be breaking down is Smile Gear, the Monsters Inc. Keyblade. Agile Claws is the first level of this Keyblade transformation. The ground combo and the air combo are the same in this transformation. The combo starts with a drag double swipe, followed by cross swipes in and out. Sora then does a spinning attack that propels him forward, and a 3-hit attack with one going diagonally down, one being a horizontal slash, and the last being a diagonal slash up before Sora unleashes another spinning slash attack. The combo finisher has Sora making the claws grow larger before shooting them forward at enemies. This transformation has a lot of speed, and it's nice to be able to get close to an enemy quickly to deal damage. I don't believe this transformation has a ground pound, as there is no need for a transition to a ground combo since the ground combo and the air combo are the same. Athletic Flow is changed by Agile Claws. The Kick Dive Athletic Flow is changed from a 2-hit attack to a spinning dash. This is very reminiscent of the Nano Arms attack from the Big Hero 6 mini trailer. I always wondered what this attack was. On another note, I believe the Nano Arms transformation is actually copying the Blizzard Claws transformation rather than this Agile Claws one. I always thought the claws looked a little off to me in the Nano Arms attack, and now we know why. Magic in Agile Claws is changed to the AoE type of magic, similar to the magic seen with Hyper Hammer. Agile Claws does not have a guard mechanic, but rather Sora jumps backwards and does a simple spin. Dodging during combat will have Sora doing a spinning type of attack. Let's look at the second level of this transformation, Twin Yo-Yos. Similar to Agile Claws, Twin Yo-Yos seems to not have a difference between the ground and air combos. The combo starts with a 1-2 hit with one yo-yo going out vertically and the other hitting horizontally. The next attack has Sora crossing his arms and slicing both yo-yos horizontally to attack enemies in a wide area in front of him as well to the sides of him. His next attack involves multiple quick slices upwards. I love the last hit of this because Sora does a trick shot where he hits the enemy with the yo-yo by throwing it between his legs. Then Sora throws out both yo-yos in a circle and spins around, hitting a large area all around him. The last attack before the combo finisher has Sora flipping backwards as he does multiple slices vertically with his yo-yos. The combo finisher has Sora throwing both yo-yos forward and raising down the enemies in front of him. The sliding attack for this transformation is probably my favorite one out of all of them. Sora hooks his yo-yo into the enemy and uses it like a hook shot to pull himself towards the enemy, doing a quick kick after getting close to the enemy. It's so fast and it looks so cool. Like Agile Claws, this transformation does not seem to have a ground pound because there's no need to transition to a ground combo from the air because the air and ground combos are shared. Athletic Flow is not changed while in Twin Yo-Yos. Magic is changed to multiple projectiles that home in on enemies. Blocking is not available with this form, and Sora just jumps backwards. Dodging and air dashing are the same as in base form. The finisher changes the yo-yos into a monster that crushes the enemy between its teeth. It also does damage to enemies around the yo-yo monster. The max shot lock for this Keyblade puts Sora into twin yo-yos and has Sora shooting his yo-yos through portals to attack enemies. The portals he uses look like corridors of light. The last Keyblade we will be breaking down is Rudder of Fate, the Pirate's Keyblade. High Wind is the first level of this Keyblade transformation. We have not seen the air combo for this transformation, so I will just be breaking down the ground combo. The first attack is a quick slice up followed by a horizontal slash that generates a ring around Sora and pushes enemies away. The next attack is a simple piercing lunge attack. Sora then does a double flip, slicing vertically as he spins. The second flip ends with him smashing the lance down on the ground. The next attack is a flurry of lances that seem to be copies of the lance transformation. This has a lot of height to it as you see Keyblade spawning pretty high above Sora. Right before the combo finisher, we see another quick swipe upwards. This one though scrapes the ground and sends sparks flying, it seems. The combo finisher has Sora teleporting up high and raining down spears over a wide area. A shockwave also goes out, pushing enemies back. Sora's dodge seems to have changed to a very long dash. We don't have any information on the sliding attack, the ground pound, or any magic or athletic flow changes. The second level of this transformation is Storm Flag. Similar to High Wind, we have not seen an air combo for this transformation, so I will only talk about the ground combo. The first attack is a spinning attack that covers a large area. The second attack has Sora twisting the flag around him, damaging anyone that is close. Sora then does a giant flip, ending with a smash to the ground. Then there is a quick slash up, followed by another spinning attack. The combo finisher is a giant thrust that pushes enemies away and into the air. We have no information on any movement tech or special attacks such as ground pound or sliding attacks for this transformation. The finisher for this transformation has Sora digging the flag into the ground and spawning Kraken tentacles made out of water that splash around, damaging enemies. This has huge range, almost covering the width of the ship. We do not get to see what the max shot lock for this Keyblade is. Now, let's talk about Power Form as a whole. A lot of the attacks in these Power Form transformations seem focused on hard hits as well as controlling mobs. We have a lot of AoE type of attacks in the combos as well as in the combo finishers. Magic is AoE in a couple of the first level transformations as well, so it seems like this form will be good to use while fighting a large group of enemies. The finisher situation commands all do damage to a large area. Two of the transformations, Drill Punch and Twin Yo-Yos, only focus on one enemy, but they also do damage around them during the attack. And that is all I have for Power Form. Let's move on to Magic Form. Magic Form changes Sora's clothes blue, and stars appear along Sora's pants and jacket. When Sora is in Toy form, his clothes turn blue. We have not seen Sora use Magic Form while he was in Pirate or Monster form. There are two Keyblades associated with Magic Form. These Keyblades are Shooting Star, which I'm guessing we received from Yen Sid in the Mysterious Tower, and Ever After from Tangled. The first Keyblade we will be breaking down is Shooting Star. The first level of this Keyblade transformation is double arrow guns. The ground and air combos are the same for this transformation. Sora starts with a right horizontal swipe that shoots out 3 arrows, followed by a left horizontal swipe that shoots out an additional 3 arrows. He then crosses his guns, shooting out what seems to be 8 arrows per gun. Sora's last attack before the combo finisher has him spinning around, shooting tons of arrows out. The combo finisher shows a different colored arrow being shot out of the guns. It's really interesting that this combo finisher doesn't actually show like a cinematic attack. So I wonder if this is actually the combo finisher or just what they've shown us so far. The D23 2013 trailer shows Sora using this transformation, but he is shooting fire instead of arrows. Could this be how magic will work in this transformation? Maybe whatever magic you cast will change your attacks to a certain element. This transformation does not seem to change depending on how close enemies are, since Sora uses ranged attacks. Thus, I don't believe it will have a sliding attack or a ground pound. We have seen one thing that may be linked to flow motion. We see a shot lock on in a couple frames of the E3 2015 trailer, which makes me think that when you trigger flow chain in this transformation, it changes to this diving spinning attack. We haven't seen any movement tech with this transformation. In the TGS 2018 footage, we saw a new mechanic that I believe is connected with the shooting mechanic from the E3 2015 trailer. If you press R2, Sora will shoot a projectile out at enemies. I believe if you hold down R2, it will pull up this lock-on mode. Notice how the lock-on is different than the shot lock-on. I wonder if there is some kind of gauge or time limit for this mechanic, because it seems like it could be OP. The second level of this transformation is Magic Launcher. The ground combo consists of a diagonal bash up, and then a horizontal bash, followed up by the combo finisher, which has Sora thrusting the launcher diagonally up, hitting enemies into the air, and firing off a burst of energy. We have not seen any air combo for this transformation yet. This transformation also has an R2 mechanic that is similar to the double arrow guns. When you hold R2, it will probably trigger the shooting mechanic seen in the E3 2015 trailer. This shoots out a projectile that explodes. The projectile looks really similar to the magic boost item from Kingdom Hearts 2. The attack before this one could possibly be the max shot lock for the shooting star keyblade. This shot lock shoots out a single projectile that bursts into multiple arrows that home in on the target. Here's why I think this is the shot lock. At the end of shot locks, Sora usually does a flip if he is in the air. At the end of this projectile shot in the E3 trailer, Sora does a similar flip. Sadly, I have no information for this transformation's movement text, sliding attack, ground pound, or athletic flow. The finisher for this transformation is a Mega Flare-esque attack. The second Keyblade we will be breaking down is Ever After, the Tangled Keyblade. This Keyblade supposedly only has one transformation, Mirage Staff. I am going to put this analysis on hold for just a second to put on my tinfoil hat. In the Frozen trailer, we were shown the Blizzard Blaze transformation. This was also a transformation with a single level, or so we thought. Later, we received a screenshot and some gameplay of a transformation called Blizzard Claws. This transformation does not have a finish command and builds up to Blizzard Blades. I believe that the other transformations that we thought only had one transformation may in fact have two. Mirage Staff has a finish command, so if there were a second transformation, it would be before Mirage Staff. When Sora was transforming into Blizzard Blades, we could see the Blizzard Claws transformation while he was changing, so I think we can see the level 1 transformations while we transform for the other single Keyblade transformations. For Mirage Staff, I think we can see a type of shield during the transformation into it, so I think that will be the first level. Anyways, let's get back to the analysis. The ground and air combos are the same for this transformation. The first attack is a long-reaching attack with 3 circling beams shooting out in front of Sora. The second attack is a slam attack that shoots beams out of shields around Sora in a type of AoE style of attack. Then there's a surge-esque attack that is also the dashing attack for this transformation. Orbs that seem to have the same kind of shields as the previous attack attached to them circle around Sora during this attack. The last attack before the combo finisher has Sora shooting out a pillar of light with 2 smaller pillars of light circling around it. The combo finisher has Sora shooting a single purple beam in front of him with 3 shields that are also shooting beams behind him. These circle around Sora and the shields behind him join to make a single beam. I don't believe this transformation has a ground pound style of attack. Athletic flow is not affected by this transformation. Magic is the same as in base form. I can't tell if this is just for the demo, as they did not want to ruin the surprise, or if magic is just not affected by this transformation. We have not seen any magic being cast while in magic form since the D23 2013 trailer. This makes me wonder if magic is just set to the default magic, so as not to ruin any surprises. I could be wrong though. Mirage Staff's movement is reminiscent of Wisdom Form's movement from Kingdom Hearts 2. Mirage Staff does not have a block, Sora will just jump backwards. I assume in combat this will create an after image. Dodging during combat also creates after images that can attack with Sora using beams of light. Sora's double flight animation changes with the Mirage Staff transformation. Sora spins around the staff while jumping. The finisher for this transformation has Sora pushing his staff into the ground, which summons a giant tower that raises him up. He shoots a beam of light into a glowing orb above him and spawns 2 other mirages to join him in a kind of Trinity limit. This causes the orb to shoot out beams of light as orbs circle the ground below, dealing damage to enemies. At the end of the attack, you can actually see the staff become visible as the tower fades. The max shot lock for this Keyblade puts Sora into Mirage Staff and summons cubes that have lasers bouncing off of them, damaging enemies that hit them. Now, let's talk about magic form as a whole. I feel like the main idea of this form is to stay away from the enemy and use ranged attacks. We see this with the R2 mechanic for the shooting star transformations, the attacks with double arrow guns, and the Mirage attacks with Mirage Staff. We have not seen much magic for this form, but I feel like that will also be a good way of staying out of range. Finishers are good at hitting ranged enemies as well, with Magic Launcher's finisher hitting a large area in front of Sora, and Mirage Staff's finisher being able to cover a large area around Sora. And that's all I have for magic form. Let's move on to speed form. Speed form changes Sora's clothes green and flames appear along Sora's pants and jacket. When Sora is in pirate form, his bandana changes to a light green as well as his cufflinks. The crown on his pirate hat changes to a flame. We have not seen Sora use speed form while he was in toy or monster form. There are 3 Keyblades associated with speed form. These Keyblades are Crystal Snow from Frozen, Nano Gear from Big Hero 6, and the Keyblade from Ratatouille. The first Keyblade we will be breaking down is Crystal Snow, the Frozen Keyblade. The first level of this Keyblade transformation is Blizzard Claws. This has a similar combo to the Agile Claws transformation for Power Form. The combo starts with a Dragon Double Swipe, followed by cross swipes in and out. This is where the combo differs from the Agile Claws combo. Sora does a diagonal slash up, followed by another diagonal slash up with the other claw, and then the scene cuts to the combo finisher that has Sora making the claws grow larger before shooting them forward at the enemy. It's interesting that they cut right before the combo finisher, since there should have been only one more attack between the combo that was just done and the combo finisher. And this was a simple spinning attack that we've already seen with Agile Claws, so why would they cut that out? This makes me think that there is something different with this combo. We do not see any magic or athletic flow in this form, but we can deduce that the spinning athletic flow attack used in Agile Claws is used by Blizzard Claws as well. The Nano Arms transformation is a copy of the athletic flow attack that Agile Claws does, but the claws line up more with the Blizzard Claws version. So either this is athletic flow, or it could possibly just be part of the combo for Blizzard Claws. Anyways, that is all the information we have on Blizzard Claws. Blizzard Blades is the second level of this transformation. Something interesting to note is that when we see Sora transform into Blizzard Blades during the TGS footage, we actually see him spawn his Blizzard Claws for a few frames before he transforms into Blizzard Blades. The first attack has Sora spinning and kicking out with his skates. The second attack starts with another kick, but halfway through, Sora uses one of his gauntlets to follow up his kick. You can tell where Sora is attacking from, since the ice surrounding his hands and feet grow larger depending on what he is attacking with. He does a spinning aerial attack with his gauntlets, and then follows up with a kick that sends ice spikes shooting forward from the ground. This kick is the combo finisher for the ground combo. We do not have an aerial combo, but it can be assumed that there will be one since the combo finisher seems to be a ground specific one, with Sora attacking and sending ice up from the ground. We see a ground pound attack right before the first attack. Sora spins down to the ground, coating it with ice. We do not see any magic or athletic flow in this form. The regular jump is changed while in this transformation. Sora flips while jumping, which seems like it would be good for vaulting over enemies to get away. There is an interesting skating mechanic that is seen in this transformation. I hope all speed form transformations have some kind of cool way of moving around. We don't see any other movement tech for this transformation. I'm interested to see what the dodger guard is, since this is the simplest transformation we have seen so far for Sora, with just small gauntlets and skates making up the transformation. The finisher for this transformation has Sora summoning an ice tower and scaling up it before the tower collapses, damaging enemies around and inflicting freeze. We have not seen the max shot log for this Keyblade. The second Keyblade we will be breaking down is Nano Gear, the Big Hero 6 Keyblade. Another Keyblade with only one transformation supposedly. I think the first level might be the glider that appears during the transformation into Nano Arms. This transformation is special in that it copies the attacks of other Keyblade transformations. The first attack is just a normal horizontal slash. The next attack, though, might be a copy of the Pirate's transformation, since the animation is similar to the thrust attack during the High Wind transformation. Another normal horizontal slash is done before a copy of the spinning athletic flow attack connected with the Blizzard Claws transformation is performed. Sora then copies Hyper Hammer and smashes the ground. The combo finisher is a unique attack where Sora creates a giant hand that pushes enemies out of the way. Sora also does a diagonal slash during attacks while in this transformation. We see one aerial attack from a screenshot that shows a copy of what looks to be a Drill Punch combo finisher. The sliding attack from the Twin Yo-Yo's transformation is copied by Nano Arms. The Hyper Hammer ground pound is also copied. We haven't seen any athletic flow or magic while in this transformation. The Agile Claws dodge is copied by Nano Arms, but we don't see any other movement tech. The finisher for this transformation has Sora creating a portal that he jumps into, which disappears. A ball of portals appears seconds later, shooting out spikes that damage enemies. The max shot lock for this Keyblade is a copy of the Twin Yo-Yo shot lock, where Sora creates portals to which his yo-yos hit enemies, though these don't really look like yo-yos at all. The third Keyblade we will be breaking down is the Ratatouille Keyblade. The only thing we have seen for this transformation is the finisher, which is a giant smash with a frying pan. The actual transformation, though, looks to be a shield transformation. Notice the handle Sora is holding onto when he throws it into the air. Now, let's talk about speed form as a whole. It's hard for me to really say what this form is centered around. Part of me thinks that this form would be good for single enemies, where Sora can attack quickly and keep them stunned. Another part thinks though that this is a form that is good for getting away from enemies. The Blizzard Blade's transformation is quick and the jump vaults over enemies pretty easily. Anyways, that is all I have for speed form. Let's move on to Guardian form. Guardian form changes Sora's clothes yellow and diamonds appear along Sora's pants and jacket. We have not seen Guardian form in any of Sora's other forms. There are 2 Keyblades associated with Guardian form. These Keyblades are Hero's Origin from Hercules and Honeyspout from Winnie the Pooh. The first Keyblade we will be breaking down is Hero's Origin, the Olympus Keyblade. This only has 1 transformation, but I think maybe this could have a Thunder Hammer transformation as the first level before Counter Shield. Counter Shield's ground combo starts with Sora performing a horizontal slash with his shield, followed by a thrust with his shield. He then throws it similar to a strike rate attack, and then does a circling dash forward with his shield out that is probably able to parry attacks. In another scene, we see the end of an attack right before the combo finisher, where Sora summons lightning bolts that spread out around Sora. A golden ring closes in around Sora before the lightning attack that seems to have decent range as it hits the Soldier Heartless in the background. A counterattack called Counter Slash is seen where Sora sends out multiple fists to hit the enemy. A nice little touch for this transformation is that lightning bolts come out of the shield during attacks. We have not seen any athletic flow, magic, or movement tech for this form. The finisher for this transformation is the chariot that races around casting thunder every so often. The max shot luck for this Keyblade shows Sora catching a ball of energy and raining down beams of energy on enemies. The second Keyblade we will be breaking down is Honeyspout, the Winnie the Pooh Keyblade. This seems to be a copy of the double arrow guns and magic launcher transformations. The names for these copies are Honey Blaster and Honey Launcher. The only actual footage we received was during the Winnie the Pooh trailer, which shows the finisher for Honey Launcher. It is similar to the magic launcher transformation but leaves globs of honey on the ground. The only information we get about the Honey Blaster is through screenshots. These show the transformation into Honey Blaster, it seems. We also get a screenshot of the Honey Launcher combo finisher, it looks like, and that's about it. Now let's talk about Guardian form as a whole. We know that it is called Guardian form because of the Guardians of Light that Sora is a part of. I feel like this form may not necessarily focus on defensive or guarding abilities. While I would not mind a defensive form, I believe that Guardian form is more along the lines of a form that gives him the power to protect. This could be defensive power like Counter Shield, but it could also be other kinds of power as well. The 2 places we have gotten this form are Olympus and Winnie the Pooh's world. These 2 places are special to Sora, I think, and are the only 2 worlds besides Radiant Garden that have appeared in Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3. This may just be a coincidence though. If it's not, maybe Guardian form is received from special worlds that are in all 3 of the Kingdom Hearts games. And that is all the information I have found regarding these forms and transformations. I hope you were able to learn something new. I am so excited for Kingdom Hearts 3, and I hope this breakdown also got you excited for it. I put a ton of work into this video, and I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe or share this with someone you think will like it. I did a similar breakdown of the Kingdom Hearts 3 demo, which you can get to by clicking the card on screen. Follow me on Twitter or join my Discord by following the links in the description below. I am going to be doing this level of analysis when the game comes out, so look forward to that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.